Southern Spain is a region which receives 325 days of sunshine in the year. No wonder this has become the go-to destination for travelers and expats alike.
In this video, we'll be giving a breakdown of the top 5 places to stay in southern Spain suited to a range of budgets. So whether you're a frugal traveler, a mid-range explorer, or someone who enjoys finer things in life, no matter your travel style, we've got you covered.
I am Ash.
I'm Raghav.
Both born in India and raised in the UK, we love traveling to new places.
And on this channel, we are all about sharing travel tips, itineraries, and more to help you plan your next adventure.
Our first location on the list is Malaga. Located on Spain's Costa del Sol, this is one of the most visited coastal cities in the region. This is because there is so much to do here. Whether you want to chill by the beach or want to indulge in a bit of history and culture, there's something for everyone. Some of the things we did and places we visited here were popular Alcazaba, which is historic fortress that dates back to the 11th century. It's a great place for those who are interested in Malaga's rich history and want panoramic views of the city. On the same hill next to Alcazaba is the Gibralfaro Castle, which was built in the 14th century and has played a crucial role in defending Malaga against invasions. It's well preserved and accessible through a very scenic pathway. We got some breathtaking views of the city and the Mediterranean Sea. We paid around €5 per person for a combined ticket to Alcazaba and the castle. Talking about the Mediterranean Sea, there are many beautiful beaches here. Most popular being the Playa del Nalgueta, which is a 1 kilometer long beach lined by a beautiful promenade. It had a really good vibe. We saw many locals jogging and even few open yoga classes at the beach. Malaga Cathedral is also another place you can visit. It is a prominent religious and architectural landmark in Malaga. If you're interested in architecture, you might find this place very fascinating. And this is because the construction took over 2 decades.
But apparently this building was never finished.
For nature lovers, there are many beautiful gardens in Malaga. We walked through Paseo del Parque pretty much every day. Here we saw some of the largest monsteras we've ever seen. Also, Roman Theatre is another place worth visiting. It's an ancient open-air theatre dating back to 1st century BC. 2,000 people used to sit here and watch various performances. So another great place for those who love a bit of history. For accommodation, we chose to stay at an Airbnb in the Malaga city centre by the beachfront. We chose this mainly because we wanted beautiful views of the beach. We paid roughly €150 per night, a little on the higher side due to the beach, but we did see plenty of other cost-effective Airbnbs and hotels when we were planning the trip. When it comes to Spanish food and tapas, there were many restaurants ranging from budget-friendly to fine dining. At an average restaurant, we spent roughly €10 to €15 per person for dishes like paella. With regards to transport, it's a very well-connected city. First off, Malaga Airport allows easy access into Spain. From the airport, the city centre is a simple bus ride away. Very easy and cost-effective. We spent less than €4 per person for the ride. All the places I mentioned are very easy to get to. We pretty much walked everywhere as they were close by. So, based on the range of budget-friendly options for food, activities, accommodation and transport, we believe Malaga is a great place for when travelling on low budget.
So our next location on the list is Marbella. We wanted to check out this place for ourselves as we know this is a very popular place with foreigners. So we decided to stay here for a week. To our surprise, even though it's a small town, there's a lot to do and see here. For us, the highlight was exploring the old town and visiting all the plazas lined with orange trees and learning about the town's history. We enjoyed waking up in the morning and going for a morning exercise on the beachside promenade. Did you know this promenade is the longest seafront promenade in Spain, stretching over 12 kilometers? It was amazing watching the sunrise from it every day. And the same promenade came alive in the evening with all the bars and nightclubs playing music till late. The other unique side to Marbella is Portobello's, which is home to many luxury yachts and high-end boutiques, giving this region its nickname of California of Europe. For accommodation, being the smallest of the other locations, it was hard to find budget-friendly options, but otherwise there were some excellent places to choose from. During our time, we stayed at one such Airbnb overlooking the main beach and the Mediterranean Sea, which costed us €130 per night. One thing we noticed was for food that though there are plenty of options, we found ourselves easily spending 25 to 30 euros per person on meals at an average restaurant, which was almost double to our experience in places like Malaga. So Marbella offers its own unique experience, and apart from its limitations due to its smaller size, it offers an excellent experience to those who are willing to splash out. Hence, Marbella gets high budget recommendation from us.
So Ronda is the next one on our list. It's a historic town about 3 hours away from Malaga. It's situated on the stunning cliffs overlooking the deep gorge called El Tajao. It's considered the most beautiful town in Spain. Ronda is mainly popular because of its dramatic landscape, historic landmarks, and strong cultural heritage. For transport, we took a bus from Malaga to get to Ronda. It costed us around 15 euros per person. It is a big contrast from the coastal towns we stayed at. The bus ride was very nice. We got views of the countryside. The town itself is quite small, so when you're in Ronda, you don't need to take any taxis. You can easily explore on foot. For accommodation, we found hotels to be a little bit on the higher side in Ronda, as it's a small town and there's less competition. So we stayed at a hotel called Catalonia Hotel, and there we stayed in a room with a valley view. It costed us around 150 per night, but it was amazing. We watched the sunset and sunrise from the balcony. We really enjoyed our stay here. Some of the things we did in Ronda was visiting the Puente Nuevo, which translates to New Bridge. This is the icon of Ronda. This is what you would see if you were to search Ronda on Google. It's a must given the views of the gorge, and you can literally watch sunset and sunrise from the same spot. There's loads of viewpoints also that you can go to get the view of gorge and the stunning mountains. There's one particular one that is our favorite called Almeida del Tajao Park. This is where we saw a musician play violins. It was a very nice vibe. There's a gazebo where you can also sit and watch the valley and the sunset. Another place we visited was La Casa del Remoro, which is a water mine with a long history. We also saw some peacocks here, which is an exotic animal in Spain. It was brought in to add to the beautiful garden. So we took 230 steps to get down to the water mine, and this is where you get access to the river, and you also get views of the gorge, and you really appreciate the height of the Puente Nuevo bridge. And the ticket to get into the La Casa del Remoro costed us around 15 euros per person. Some of the events we attended in the area, one of them being flamenco dance, which is highly recommended by us to get true experience of the Spanish culture. It also costed us 15 euros per person. For food, we found many different options in Ronda. We found our favorite restaurant called Las Marinas, where we ended up going pretty much every day. On average, we spent around 10 to 15 euros per person on a meal here. Given Ronda's location away from airport and cost of accommodation and activities to truly enjoy the area, Ronda is a mid-budget recommendation option. Did you know Valencia is often regarded as the best city to live in by the expat community? And a true testament that with the power of its people, a city can transform from potentially looking like this, which is what their government had proposed, to the largest urban park in Spain, stretching 9 kilometers, which has become the symbol of the city and home to all types of leisure activities, containing everything from the largest aquarium in Europe to famous city of arts and from immersing yourself in history and culture to chilling by the beach. First, we have the Valencia's Old Town. With its history stretching over 2,000 years, it is home to many historical sites, such as the Valencia Cathedral, where you can climb the spiral staircase of 200 steps to get a panoramic view of the city. Valencia also has its very own Sistine Chapel, located in St. Nicholas Church, showcasing fresco paintings from the 17th century. As mentioned at the start of the video, the most unique part about the city is its Central Park, which is home to many attractions, such as one of the largest aquariums in the world. The park is home to an opera house, which is where we enjoyed exploring this unique building and attending the performance of Last Sylphide, performed by the Czech National Ballet. For budgeting for activities, we found there to be plenty of free activities, with our favorite being exploring the Churro Park and Old Town, as well as walking by the promenade on the beach. Also, many museums are free to enter on Sundays and holidays, such as this museum that we visited containing the ancient ruins of Roman baths. Otherwise, Valencia has many attractions for different price points. For example, entry to the Valencia Cathedral costed just €5 per person. For the entry to the aquarium costed us around €35 per person. And a ticket to a show at the Opera House costed us €60 per person. So depending on your budget, you can really plan your itinerary accordingly.
Valencia is well connected and served by many countries across Europe. Once you land, the airport is only 8 kilometers away from the city center. And apart from taking the occasional taxis and public transport, given Valencia is mostly flat, we found ourselves walking everywhere. The other option to get around the city is by taking taxis, which we found to be quite affordable, or taking the bus, which you can pay by a contactless card. Also, did you know Valencia is officially one of the most cycle-friendly cities in the world? So if you are able to, it's worth either taking one of the bike tours or renting a bike from either one of the many bike rental shops, or using the city's public bike sharing system, which allows you to rent and return bikes at various points in the city.
Given Valencia is quite a big city, for accommodation we found there to be plenty of options, with Airbnb and hotels, ranging from either €50 per night for a modest option to €200 per night for a more luxury stay. Affordability for food in Spain tends to be generally cheaper than the rest of Europe, and we found there to be plenty of variety, with most of the food being locally sourced. As you may know, our quick way of finding out how affordable a destination is, we look at the price of the coffee. And in Valencia you can get coffee for €1.50, which is definitely more affordable than other destinations in Europe. And depending on where you eat, you can easily enjoy a 3-course meal for less than €20 per person.
This is why Valencia is a great mid-budget option, given the range of choices for transport, accommodation, food, and things to do. The last location on our list is Alicante. This is a popular destination of southern Spain, which is very easy to access to via the Alicante airport. The airport is a short bus ride away from the city centre, which costed us €4 per person. For accommodation, Alicante offers many options, and for our 1-month stay here, we spent our first few days at a hotel near the marina, spending €140 per night, which though is at a higher side, we stayed at an excellent suite at the hotel, and the hotel itself had a spa that we could use, which we really enjoyed. For the rest of our time in Alicante, we moved to a 1-bed Airbnb overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, which costed us €60 per night, which we thought was very reasonable given the location. We also found there was plenty to do in the city. Some of our highlight was hiking up to the castle on the hill, roaming around the city centre, exploring the popular streets like Mushroom Street, reading books under the winter sun and watching the beautiful sunset by the beach. Overall, Alicante has a vibrant cultural scene, and it also had numerous festivals and events throughout the year. Since we visited during Christmas time, we enjoyed watching the Three Kings Parade and seeing the whole town come alive. One thing we noticed that even though Alicante is a big city, we spent very little on transportation, as we found ourselves walking everywhere, averaging 15,000 steps per day And on occasions when we did have to use the bus, it was only €2 per person for one way. For food, there were many options to choose from, and we made a point to try as many restaurants as possible, and on average spending 10 to €20 per person. So Alicante is a great low-budget option to stay at, given its various activities and the number of options for things like budget accommodation and meals.
If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe, as this will help us get to 1,000 subscribers. For our other videos on southern Spain, you can check out our playlist here. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.